Who should Devin the Dream Haney fight next? Obviously, you guys know that Devin Haney is coming off a tough loss against Ryan Garcia, and maybe it's going to get removed. Maybe it's going to get overturned, but I have reason to believe that, the boxing fans aren't going to let Devin Haney slide with that. They're not just going to allow him to, move on with the disqualification win, being overruled into a no contest, maybe, whatever the outcome is. I feel like boxing fans just aren't going to let it, leave Devin Haney's, brain. They're not going to let it slip their mind. So I do think that that rematch with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney does have to go down, especially for Devin Haney's career. I don't even think it's more essential for Ryan Garcia to get the rematch. I think it's more essential for Devin to prove that he can beat this guy. And when people ask me if I think that, Devin can win a rematch, I honestly say yeah, but he has to do it the correct way. He can't go in there overconfident. He can't go in there with that same game plan and try to fight Ryan Garcia. Even if he tries to box him, there's a good chance that Ryan Garcia can still land that left hook, but Devin Haney's best chance and his strongest path to victory is to box him. But if he does the same thing, I feel that his confidence won't be the same. But if he has the correct game plan, I do think he has a chance. I think he has a strong chance as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's talk a little bit about what's the best option for Devin Haney. And a lot of people like the Isak Cruz fight, and I've been saying I personally don't like it. If I'm Devin Haney's team, I'm not putting him in there immediately with a big puncher, because it's too much risk. I think that Devin Haney needs to get some confidence back. Not to say that he's not going to come back confident. I just think that he needs to see himself beating some credible fighters. Like, fighting is mandatory. That's the fight I really want to see, Sandor Martin and Devin Haney, for Devin Haney's get back fight. Because I don't think that, Sandor Martin is a big puncher. He's not known to be a big puncher. So him against Devin, I'm not going to say it's an exciting fight. It could be, but it could also be a boring fight. So I don't think that that's a mega fight. It's obviously a step down from fighting a guy like Ryan Garcia when it comes to pay-per-view buys, but I think it could potentially be a competitive fight. But at the same time, Devin doesn't really have to deal with that threat of the power as much. Just in that get-back fight, I would like to see Devin take a tune-up. I'm not trying to call Sandor Martin a tune-up because it still is mandatory, but in terms of power and that big threat of getting knocked out, this is a tune-up fight for him. But for Isak Cruz and Devin Haney, I like that fight as well. I just don't think that it's a good idea. I just don't think it's a good idea. After what Isak Cruz did to Rolly, and obviously Devin Haney isn't Rolly Romero. He's a much better fighter. He's a boxer. He's going to be way more careful defensively, and I do think that Devin Haney would have a better chance with than Rolly did against Isak Cruz, because ultimately Devin's better at fighting smaller guys, and people always talk about how Devin Haney, he tends to fight the smaller guys, where he has the reach advantage, the height advantage, and the strength is kind of on an even playing field. But I think against a guy like Isak Cruz, I don't like that fight for Devin. Not right now. I think he needs some get back fights. The best version of Devin Haney outboxes Isak Cruz in my opinion, but I would like to see him get a few fights in before that. It's a tough fight. It's a tough fight for him. I would like to see Ryan Garcia and Isak Cruz. That's a good fight as well. Obviously, Isak Cruz is fighting Jose Valenzuela, so that's a big fight as well. I'm just saying, after that, what does Isak Cruz do? Assuming that he gets through Rayo, which isn't an easy fight to get by any means. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about how they've been seeing Ryu in the gym and he looks good. So I think that may very well be a more competitive fight than we think, but I do think that Isak Cruz might be a little bit too much for a get back fight for Devin Haney. I'm not saying that he doesn't beat him. I would pick Devin still. I just think I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable with Devin Haney getting into that fight just yet. But maybe the second fight could be against a guy like Isak Cruz, especially if he doesn't want to pursue the Ryan Garcia rematch. He's going to have to fight a big puncher because, the narrative is going to continue to be that he doesn't want to face a big puncher because of what Ryan Garcia did to him. So Sandor Martin, I think, is a good step in the right direction just to get that level of confidence back. But I really wouldn't put Devin Haney in a puncher, just yet. Not immediately. I don't like that. I don't even like a Rolly fight for Devin, coming back. But ultimately, you know, that it's up to Devin Haney and his team. Obviously, Devin Haney's a great boxer, and on his best day, he outboxes most guys at 140. He's a top dog at 140. He just ran into a guy that, you know, didn't care about the rules. You know, said, I'm going to do this on my terms. You know, had to deal with the rehydration clause and the catch weight from the Tank fight, and kind of learned his lesson about being depleted and going into a fight, taking the money, but still at what cost? You had to go into that fight with Tank being depleted. So he learned his lesson in this fight with Devin Haney. He kind of, you know, took it all out on Devin, coming in 3 pounds over and ultimately dropping Devin Haney 3 times, hurting him multiple times in the fight with that left hook. So, you know, Ryan Garcia is a force to be reckoned with at, you know, that 140, 147, 154 pound weight range, because, you know, we don't really know what he is anymore. We can't really call him a 140 pounder naturally because he didn't make 140. He hasn't made 140. He fought Tank at 36, fought Oscar Duarte, you know, over 140, and then, you know, came in 3 pounds over for a 140 pound title fight. So, like, I can't call Ryan Garcia a 140 pounder, but I would still like to see Ryan against a lot of, you know, guys out there. He called out Boots. I think that's the one fighter where I'm like, maybe not, but, you know, Ryan obviously wants to smoke with anybody. One guy that he hasn't really called out like that is Teofimo Lopez, but I would love to see that fight as well. Teo even talked about the fact that at 147, you know, they could make that fight happen. Ryan Garcia wouldn't have to worry about, you know, making weight like that, because Ryan should be able to make 47 pretty comfortably. And then, you know, if they both rehydrate, these are both big guys. Teo and Ryan Garcia I expected to see at welterweight at some points in their career, but, you know, big guys at 47 still. But I just would like to see that fight. I don't like a big puncher for Devin Haney immediately. I don't like Teofimo, you know, going straight into a fight with Devin Haney, because, you know, I think that Teo does his best work when a guy is coming forward, and I think, you know, with Devin coming off that loss to Ryan Garcia, he would be a bit more tentative and try to counterpunch Teo, and I think that's a mess for him. But at the same time, Teo has power, so it would be an interesting fight, don't get me wrong. It's just like, if you're a manager for both guys, you know, there's risk in it for sure, but, you know, it is a great fight. Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, I like that fight a lot. Throw in any of these top names at 40, 47. They're great fights, but it's all a matter of what Ryan Garcia wants to do. Does he want to pursue that Devin Haney rematch? Because he can push it to a point where he does get it, because people are just going to keep hating on Devin and calling him this and that, but Devin doesn't seem too interested in it right now. He doesn't want to give Ryan Garcia that opportunity, because he's saying that he doesn't want to, you know, give him that clout. He doesn't want to give him more of a name, because especially that he's cheated now, he doesn't deserve it. So I do think that could be a factor, but I also have been saying that I think that the main reason why Devin Haney's not that interested is because, you know, he did feel a level of power. He did get hit with the left hook, regardless of the Australian. He got hit with that left hook. There were mistakes that he made in that Ryan Garcia fight that if he doesn't fix, there's a good chance, even if Ryan Garcia is clean, that the outcome could be the same, and it could even be potentially worse. But there's also the aspect of, you know, he could have a way better performance. He could go in there with the right mindset and a better game plan. So it's a lot of, you know, if this, if that. But I do think that a big reason why Devin Haney isn't too interested in the Ryan Garcia rematch is because he knows that there's still a chance that the outcome could be the same. You know, Ryan Garcia could beat him. It could even be a worse beating. And then if Ryan Garcia is clean, how does it make Devin Haney look? So for Devin Haney, he's in a difficult spot with that rematch, because a lot of people want to see him take it. You know, they're not. You can only imagine that the fans aren't going to let it slide if he were to, you know, just continue to fight other fighters and never avenge that, or at least try to avenge that loss to Ryan Garcia in the ring. You know, people don't like to see disqualification wins. They don't like to see fights get overturned by the athletic commission. They like to see you get it back in blood. You know, people have been making the reference of Deontay Wilder, you know, cheating. Not Deontay cheating, but he talked about Tyson Fury cheating in a previous fight and wanting to get back in blood, and he did that. But is Devin Haney going to do the same thing? I don't know if it happens. I don't know if the rematch will happen. I think that, you know, the best chance for it to happen is if, you know, people continue to pressure Devin Haney into that fight, and if the money is right. So if they can do those two things, I do think that rematch could happen. I still see it as a 50-50 fight. It's just a version of, the fighters that we get on that day. Do we get a Ryan Garcia that's, out of shape, and then against a version of Devin Haney who comes in there with the right game plan, then I'll give it to Devin. But if Devin still hasn't fixed those little mistakes and allows Ryan Garcia to get into his groove and find his money shot, which is the left hook, then obviously Devin is going to get caught again, and he's going to feel that power even without the Ostarine. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think that Devin Haney should fight a guy like Cruz in his get-back fight? Maybe take a little break in after Cruz fights Rayo and potentially beats him, then you make that Haney fight happen. I don't like it just yet, but down the line for sure it's a big fight. I just don't like Devin with a big puncher right now. I think he should fight his mandatory Sandor Martin, get some confidence back, and then jump back in with those big guys, those big punchers. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.
That's going to do it for another Nads Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.